Okay. We here right now. Let me just gotta make sure everything's good. Shout out to everybody that got it locked in with DJ Prospect each and every Thursday, man, for the interviews. I've been getting a lot of good feedback, good support. And I just kind of want to feature everybody in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Feature all the artists, the business owners, CEOs. I kind of want to just put everybody that has a talent or has something that maybe some people know about, but I kind of want to just provide that avenue so everybody can be able to have that knowledge and know what's going on in Boston. People look at Boston and they think of the Celtics. Most people don't even know there's like half of Boston's a hood. Like they don't know that, So it's good that people get to really have the opportunity to see what's going on in the city. You know what I mean? So yeah, we gonna rock out with this interview. I'm gonna let my special guest, and this one's special because it's different, but we gonna get into that, all right? I'm gonna have my guest introduce himself, and then we gonna go from there. Let's just get a little 1-2, make sure the volume's working, and then we go from there, all right?
Cool. We good?
Engineer, are we good? Engineer, are we good? Good right here?
We are good. Word, we're good. All right, so, I'll introduce myself real quick. My name is DJ. I grew up in Boston. I was born in Malden. I'm Cape Verdean. I was born in Malden. Grew up in Boston. Pretty much at 18, I left to the military, got out of the military. And when I was 18, I actually got into a business venture, right? So to call it. And that's kind of what sparked the whole so I'm 26 now. So that's kind of what I turned 26 Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
happy belated.
Good looks. So I got into business, or I got the mindset for business, right, around 18, 19 years old, just before I left for the Army. And then pretty much I done had 4 or 5 failed business attempts at different things. And then that's when I came across this, where we're at now, which is the business that I currently own, which is D&D Vending Solutions. So, that's what we're here to talk about today, So
interesting. So it took a few times of you falling and failing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, 6 businesses, legit failed. So I got some crazy, failed stories, too, bro.
All right, so before we get into the success part, I think the people kind of want to hear where you failed. And here's why I say that. Because when you look at a business, when people come, when business owners, CEOs, they come to interview, artists come to interview, you technically only hear about, this is what I did, I got here.
Right.
You hear about the good part. You don't hear about what the actual owner had to go through before they found their niche.
Right.
So just kind of, you don't have to go deep, but just get into what failed and how did that make you feel and how were you able to keep pushing?
So, all right. So my first, I'll start from the beginning. When I first got into business, right, it was an MLM. It was a network marketing company, right? That's what first.
So I did that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what first kind of pulled me into the business world, because before this, granted I was 19, 18, but before this, bro, I couldn't care less about business. You know what I mean? But I started let's getting into podcasts and personal development and reading different books. The MLM I got into was World Ventures. So I jumped into that with my boy Tino. And it's funny, so before this, I didn't link with my boy Tino for a couple years, bro, but we always been close. So we went to middle school together, and we've been close since. But he's hitting me up to link, and I'm like 18, 19. I'm like, bro, this is weird, bro. Why does this dude want to link so bad, bro? I'm like, this dude trying to set me up. What's going on, bro? But anyway, I went to that. So I did that for a couple years while I had left to the Army while doing it. Took a few trips with it. But for the most part, that was what kind of got my feet wet in the entrepreneurial space.
Okay,
right?
dope.
Then I came back from the military and I started doing landscaping with this dude. He had a small little company. So we're doing all crazy jobs, and I'm like, hold up, bro. Like this is too easy. I could do this too.
Right.
So then that's when I get into the property management. So me and my boy had opened up a property management company. So we pretty much was doing anything from landscaping to snow removal to, I guess you can consider that the same thing, but things like that. Odd repair jobs around houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had a few contracts. Things were going a little well, bro.
Okay.
Things were going a little well. It was
Like,
dope.
It's working. It's
Yeah,
working.
it's dope, And then we had a winter. I forget what winter it was, but it was a bad winter, bro. It was a bad winter, and so basically what happened was we did snow removal. So I was taking every call, bro. I was getting calls left and right for snow removal jobs. People calling me.
Booming.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so one storm we had on the schedule. We was set to make over 5,000 in one night. That's what we was set to make, bro. Ask me what we made, bro.
What did you
$0, bro.
What happened?
So we went out. We had got a pickup truck or whatever, which we crashed, by the way, but it was straight, whatever. But we went out, and we had like a few jobs, and then like 2 jobs in, like I realized like, yo, we might have put a little bit too much on the schedule, like, so I'm like getting this company off the ground, bro. So I got like some shovels and a snow blower. No plow, nothing like that. And I'm taking on like these huge driveways and parking lots and right. I'm just taking on whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. Throw it on the schedule. Let's get to it. We probably had scheduled like 20 jobs, and we got to like 2 or 3 by the time the night ended. The only spot that I made my money was I had an apartment complex in West Roxbury that they wanted one guy to basically keep the paths clear throughout the storm. So I was charging them $120 an hour to have a guy over there, and then paying the guy that was working that site $25 an hour. So I was coming up about $95 an hour. But by the time I done paid the dudes that was helping me all day and paid for the truck that we rented for the storm, I made no money. You know what I mean? So I made no money, and then we had at least 15 plus properties that was calling me the next day like, yo, like y'all was supposed to have this done that night. and basically from there, bro, it was just bad review after bad review after bad review after bad review. And
That's crazy.
yeah, and after that, bro, I was just like, we kept it going for like a month, but after that, I was just like, it was a failed attempt at whatever we was doing. I don't even know what we was doing. I look back on it now, I was like 21 or whatever I was.
To be honest, honestly, I don't look at that as a failed attempt. I just look like you overbooked yourself.
Yeah,
that's really it.
Yeah,
You had the jobs coming in.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just you probably didn't do enough hiring.
Yeah, and not only that, but like I didn't have the resources.
Right.
And I didn't have the funds to get the resources that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted a plow. I wanted 2-3 teams around the city with snow blowers, shovelers, and a plow each person. Right. Each group. But like I didn't have the funds for that. You feel me? So I was taking on this. So for me, the way I looked back at it was failed because I went into something like that with no mentorship. Right. Granted, and I had people that was doing the same thing. I knew people that was doing the same thing that was closer that I could have that was always a text away.
Right.
But I'm young and I'm like, nah, I got this. Like, I'm straight. I don't like I don't like asking for help. I don't like reaching out to people if I don't need to reach out to people. So, because no mentorship, right? No ability to know that this probably shouldn't be a job you should take with 3 guys and 2 shovels, or 3 guys and 3 shovels, right? Or a snowblower. Right. So I'm taking these jobs that I'm like, in my head, I'm estimating maybe 1 to 2 hours to do a job, but in reality, it's 6 to 8 hours. We went to one job. We was there for so long. The tenant of the one of the tenants that live in the apartment building came down, brought us grilled cheese sandwiches and some chips. She's like, y'all been here for so long. I'm like,
Wow.
bro, like this is embarrassing. But yeah, nah. I mean, I kind of that's in my head. That's one of my failed attempts. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's rough. But that's just goes to show that's mentorship stuff. Like you know what I mean? Anything you go into, you should have somebody that knows a little bit more than you.
Right.
That you
Yeah, I
reach
think
into.
that's definitely important
Yeah.
to have somebody. There's a quote: "Everybody needs somebody."
Yeah.
And I think in this case, that's definitely important, and that's kind of what that's kind of what's needed. A lot of people don't want to seek mentorship, but mentorship's important.
Right.
It's definitely something
Right.
that everyone at some point in time needs in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. What?
So yeah. Um. So explain the services that you provide. I honestly seen on Facebook. I seen my boy EJ.
Okay.
He shared the post, and me and him went to elementary school together. And although we talk about like stocks and investments every so often, but like I was like, oh, that's dope. I gotta have him on the show.
Word.
I got to. So I reached out to you, and it was good. And it just went smooth from there. And I appreciate you for coming out. Definitely appreciate that. But let the people know, how did you get the idea? What started? Like, what? How? And explain before you even get into that. Explain to the people the services that you provide.
All right. Word. So the name of the company is D&D Vending Solutions LLC. So pretty much right now, what we're providing is vending machines, snack and soda machines, and ATMs to different businesses that otherwise wouldn't be able to get access to something like an ATM machine, right, or a vending machine. You have like big banks, for example. They don't work with these small local stores, barbershops, salons, right, corner stores, right. They don't work with anyone like that. So, so pretty much where I got into it, like where I got the idea, probably like a year ago I got the idea, and I'm just launching. I probably did like 3 months, 4 months of like nonstop research, business planning, things of that nature. But so I got the idea from a pretty much a social page that I follow on Instagram. I believe you ever heard of Earn Your Leisure?
Yes.
So
sir.
yeah, so I got the idea from them a minute ago, right? A minute ago. They talked about it briefly. There was an episode on it a while ago. And after that, like I always kind of wanted to get into it, but I kind of always like brushed it off, whatever. Like I said, I was doing all these other business attempts, right?
Right.
So then pretty much like I started thinking like every time you walk into a corner store and you or wherever and you go to take money out of an ATM and there's a surcharge fee, like that's because you're paying somebody that owns that ATM. Most of the time it's the business that it's in, they own it. But
Right.
there's a lot of times that they don't. There's not a lot of competition in this space that I'm in right now. There's not a lot of people doing it. You know what I mean? So as from my research, I could only find one other local business that offers ATMs, but they don't offer ATMs and vending machines.
Oh, okay.
So what I want to eventually get into is offering like the crane machines, the machines that you put $1 in, you try to reach and win a prize or whatever, right? Those are another form of a vending machine.
Right.
I want to eventually get into that space. I want to get into spaces of like, and then now that everything's opening back up, we're gonna have these parades and festivals and stuff like that this summer, right? Those are great venues to land, right? If I imagine I'm at a festival, I get a contract with the festival to have my machine out there for the whole weekend that it's there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So eventually I want to get into that space, but right now it's just snack machines, snack and soda machines, and ATMs.
Okay, dope. Approximately, how are you in like a bunch of different stores throughout the area, or maybe venues?
No, so right now, I have a few meetings set up with business owners for ATM machines. Nobody set up for a vending machine yet.
Okay, yeah.
Nobody set up for a vending machine yet, right? So basically, I've already sat down with a couple business owners, and pretty much what I do is I'll bring the vending machine, the ATM machine into the store, right, for free, free of charge to the business.
Correct.
Right, and so it's at no extra expense or liability to the business owner, to the location, right? So once I have that in there, pretty much the profits come from all the surcharge fees, right,
Okay.
on the ATMs.
Yeah.
So, but at the moment, just a bunch of meetings set up.
that's dope.
I have no contracts currently signed at the moment.
Oh,
So.
but it seems like it's going to you definitely.
Oh yeah, nah,
yeah.
bro. I didn't even worry about it. I have plenty of inventory. I just finished buying my third ATM machine.
Oh, dope.
So plenty of inventory. I'm picking up 2 vending machines this weekend coming up. So now it's just a matter of me doing my part and putting myself in the positions. Right, I have plenty of places to plug myself into. So, and I do have a potential like location coming up next week on Bowden Street actually.
Oh.
Next, Ashley's.
Of course.
So next door to Ashley's, there's an art store.
Oh,
Modern Party Art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have the one of the machines put in there.
That's nice.
So yeah, it's something that I expect to scale very quickly. We come back and sit down in a year, I probably could tell you about 30, 40 different locations I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One thing I definitely want to, you said in the year, so I'm going to hold you to that.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
going to hold you to
yeah.
that. And you got to hold me to keeping a radio show consistent, just having people on there as well.
For sure.
That's dope. What inspired you to, like, just was it just earn your leisure, or it was just like, you know
as far as the whole business thing goes,
Yeah.
just inspired me to like own my own business.
Yeah, because remember, you said you failed
Yeah.
a lot of times. So even after watching Earn Your Leisure, because I ain't going to lie, sometimes we watch these videos on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and they make it sound easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when they're explaining the hard part, it sounds easy. You know what I mean? It's like, but we all know it's not easy.
Right.
We know there's definitely some blood, sweat, and tears that go into it. So after 6 failed businesses, what is your inspiration now?
Honestly,
Yeah.
what it is now at this point is like I'll keep it like I hate working for people, bro. I hate the micromanagement stuff. I hate the like I anything I'm in, bro. I always have like my brains are always on 1,000, bro.
Yeah.
Right? It's always looking for the next thing. I never stayed at one job for longer than a year. Right?
You sound like me.
I never stayed at one job longer than a year, bro. So off rip, I know like I'm always out there like I'm always trying to find the next best job or the next best business, or right. So I'm always like trying to move and everything, like every conversation for me turns into like a business idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll be talking with my cousin and we'll be on the game or whatever, and I'm like, and somehow like a conversation, we'll have like some deep conversation about how we could turn this into a business. Like everything just turns into a business. So in my head, like I have a deep like passion to want to just like be on my own, so to say, work for myself. And I just want to have like the freedom to be able to, the freedom in the financial capabilities, right? To be able to do what I want, right? I have, at this point right now, I have a 2-year-old son. He'll be 3 next week. So, 2 weeks from now. So he'll be 3 soon. So my goal, right? My long-term goal is to create something, whatever it is, right? And the idea is it's this right here. Like I finally feel like I bet this is it, what I'm doing now.
Right.
So the idea is at some point down the line to have something, right, to pass down to him, right? Because me growing up, like I had a pretty good childhood. I got whatever I wanted for the most part, whatever my parents could afford. I would get all that stuff, right? But like I think about it, right? We're me, right? We're a $10 investment from being filthy rich now in life, right? For our parents, right?
Facts.
Our parents missed so much, right? They missed the internet, right? They were $10 investment. If our parents put $100 into freaking
Microsoft,
something crazy, right? Bitcoin, right? And I think it was like 2012. Bitcoin was like $20.
Yo, all right. So I
you know what I mean? Like we're even ourselves. Never mind our parents, right? Never mind our parents, but ourselves. We're a $100 investment at 18 years old away from being filthy rich right now, bro. So it's stuff like that like, damn, I missed it. That
man.
now got me like, you know what I mean? That got me like, yo, I ain't missing nothing again, bro.
Yeah.
Because now also like I can't miss it now because now I got my son behind me that I want him to come up in a way better position that I came up in. I came up in a great position, but you know what? I also grew up in Dorchester, Phil's Corner, fucking running around the streets and doing dumb stuff, right?
Yeah.
But so if I could have my son in a better position, right, than I was,
Yeah.
then I want that.
Right,
and if
right.
and if it's only a $100 investment,
it's worth
right?
it.
Right, it's worth it.
There's no
you know what I
questions
mean?
asked.
But if it on the other side, if it's grinding for years until I have 50 different locations and I don't have to worry about a thing, right?
Yeah.
Then that's cool. I already did my math. I only need about 6 locations to work for myself.
Right.
At that point, I ain't driving a Lambo, but
yeah.
but I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? I'm doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
So
you touched on a crazy point. Let me tell you why. So you was talking about Bitcoin. Believe it or not, so I've gotten back into investing. As I said, I speak to EJ every so often. So I bought some Ethereum cryptocurrency on Coinbase. I have like 5 platforms.
right.
And I'm looking like, wait, I bought Ethereum before? I'm like, what $60 back in 2017. When it was less, it was way under $60 at that time. When I bought it, it was cheap.
Right.
And I remember, I didn't even remember until I actually looked at it, like, yo, 2017. I'm like, yo, let's go. Like, I bought Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, all $60 each. Because at the time, I didn't have that much, you know? So it's like, and I seen it go down, and I sold, and I'm like, the opportunities that I missed.
Right.
From we go to Fridays and spend more than $60.
Right.
My car, I got a VW. I can't use regular gas. I gotta use, super. I spend more than 60, you know what I'm saying? I spend more than $60 on gas. Had I just made that sit there, forget about it, delete the app, and open it now,
right.
I would have had my down payment on my house. Like, in terms of, it's crazy. And, that's crazy. Now, in terms of the support that you're getting, how did, so I'm pretty sure your family knew about the investment, about the businesses you had.
Yeah.
Seeing that you failed many times, how are they with this one? Are they like, yo, you might actually be on to something?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I got the. We also got the. How do I say it? I guess you could stubborn parents. That's the wrong word, but I got the stubborn parents, right? That are also like,
Yeah, when you're first
why don't
generation,
you go get a union job? You know what I mean? Like, like.
Granted, ain't nothing wrong with a union job.
Nah, nothing at all.
I'm actually supposed to be in a union.
Nah, nothing at all, bro. Nothing at all. But what I'm saying is, it's that mindset that, oh, why don't you just get a job? It's that mindset, right?
Not knowing that I got a job.
Right. And it's that mindset right there, right?
Yeah.
That why don't you just do this, do that, is why we ain't filthy rich for generations.
Facts.
Because back when you was my age, right, and you was in your early 20s.
How you did what I did.
Right. We got blessed with the entrepreneurial boom, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there's so much entrepreneur. Everyone's doing everyone wants to open a business now, right? So we got hit with that big boom of entrepreneurs, right? And that time, like, if you got a good job when our parents was our age, if you got a good job, you made it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You made it. My mom's been at the same job for like 30 plus years right now. The same, it's a good job, city position, you know what I mean?
Wrong with it,
401k, all the extra, all the cool stuff, right?
She could have retired 20 years ago.
Right. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, it's like that mindset right there is they apply that same mindset to, why would I put $100 into the internet? What the hell is the internet? You know what I mean? At their time when, they're in their mid-20s or late 30s or whatever they were when the internet first started coming around, right? And different things that they could have invested in, right? To put this in perspective, bro, when I was 18, I think Bitcoin was at it was like 30, 40 bucks, whatever it was, right? It was like 30, 40 bucks.
Yep.
But because I didn't have, right, the education and the knowledge and anybody feeding me this information.
Exactly.
Right?
Access to information.
Right? And access to this information. I put at 18 years old, bro, I put $10,000 down on a Cadillac. On a Cadillac that, mind you, got repoed anyway, bro. You know what I mean? So on a Cadillac that I couldn't even afford to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine I take that 10 bins and I put it into Apple, or I put it into, at this time, put it into a freaking Bitcoin. So it's just stuff like that, bro. There's so much information out there that, like, I don't have, that now I'm at a point where, like, all I want is information. Right? Because I was information away from being a millionaire today.
Literally.
Right? You know what I mean? Not $1, information. Free information that I was away from being a millionaire. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's things like that. That's like, now I want to do all my homework so I don't miss whatever's next, whether it be stocks or crypto or a business that I'm running, right? I don't want to miss any
I don't want to miss
opportunities, you feel me? Because now I look back, bro, me and my cousin be talking about it like, damn, man, I done missed out so much, bro, so much. But yeah, that's.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years in the business?
So in 5 years, with this business, I see myself pretty much. I know I want to grow at about a rate of 4 to 6 locations a year, right? So if I'm growing at about 4 to 6 locations a year, that gives me about 20 to 30 locations around the state. At that point, right, at 20 to 30 locations, I'm way more than retired, right, as far as having to go apply for a job, right? I still got a bunch of stuff I got to do for my business.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But as far as applying for jobs, that's no more, right? Mm-hmm. At 20 to 30. At about, like I said, about 4 to 6 locations, I'm good, depending on how those locations do, right? A bad location's going to bring me $300 a month in passive income. I'm not doing anything minus going back and refilling the machine, or if the machine might have some maintenance issue, whatever. But for the most part, right, it's passive. Mm-hmm. So that's a bad location, $300 a month.
Right.
A really good location could bring me thousands in a month, right? Imagine landing a location like a strip club, right? $10, $12 fees. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you got those people that they go to those machines 3, 4, 5 times in one night. Oh, whatever, $10. Oh, whatever, $10. Right? By the end of the night, in one night I done made $1,000, right? A night at a strip club, right? Or at a casino, or so. Yeah. In 5 years, you know, I see myself easily with over 30, 40 locations, and as right now, I predict 4 to 6 locations a year, but that's at the current budget I'm operating at, right? So as I grow, that number that I want to expand to is also gonna grow, right? Year 2, I might reevaluate and be like, well, I want 8 to 10 locations a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Year 3, I might be like, well, I want 12 to 16 this year. So 4 to 6 is what I'm projecting right now, right?
Yeah.
But that could easily change. So I mean, in 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
Company easily worth 6 figures, right? Flirting with 7, right?
Yeah.
Flirting with 7 figures with the company's worth, you know. I you know, and then I'm working for myself. My son's 8, 9 years old. You know, he's in the thick of things with me, right? Yeah, and then, you know, another thing too is like most of my profits, right, are going right into the market, right? Right into the market. So, I mean, 5 years, bro, it could be anything from, let's just say the floor is 6 figures. Right? And it's high 6 figures, right?
Yeah.
Not like 100,000, but like a few $100,000, several $100,000, right?
Yeah.
The company being worth is the floor.
Right. That's
So
just the beginning.
yeah, and then I got so many other little projects and things like that I'm working on that like I said, my brain's on a 1,000, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, I got other things I want to do, other you know, I want to get into real estate.
Yeah,
I already did my courses and everything. I just got to schedule the exam. I want to eventually do, you know, real estate for a couple years, and then I want to open my own agency and become a broker and hire agents to sell houses for me, right? So I don't got to do much. Eventually, that's a goal too, and in 5 years, that plan, we will see that plan in motion as well.
Right.
But right now, you know, one thing at a time, because the way I am, if I put too many things on my plate, bro, I end up just being like, nah, I'm not doing anything.
Right. Yeah. So, that's how I am.
Yeah.
I feel like right now I got too much on my plate, but you know, that's a whole other subject for another day. Earlier you spoke about mentorship. Do you currently have a mentor, and if you do, how has that impacted your decisions financially?
Okay, so right now I do have a mentor, Paul. He's a good dude. Met him on Facebook through a vending.
Lewis?
Huh?
Lewis?
Nah.
Okay.
I
was like, yo, that's.
But nah, I met him on Facebook through like a vending community group page that I'm on, right? For startups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it for like 8 years. He's not out of Massachusetts, but so me and him, we've had a few conversations on the phone. We'll sit down. Pretty much, we sit down every Tuesday, and we'll have like a little conversation or whatever, catch up. I'll throw whatever questions at him. When I first just dove in, I didn't have no mentor, right? I went out and I bought 2 ATMs, 3 ATMs, got vending machines, right? And after I did that, that's when I stumbled upon a mentor, right? Once I stumbled upon a mentor, right? Before I had one business, I opened one business checking account, right? I sat down, I talked with him. He's like, nah, you need 2, 3, right? You need one for your cash flow. You need one for your profits. You need one for your fees, right? It's going to help you in the long term, right? Do your books. It's going to help you keep your numbers separate, because if not, you're going to have to separate the money. Stuff like that. Someone going into the business, perfect example, me, I wouldn't know that, right? I only opened one business checking account, right? And everything, I was going to have everything go into that. But now he's like, no, you need 2 or 3, right? I went and I bought 2, 3 machines, right? And then he's like, oh, you should have waited until, because you can secure a location before you even get the machine. You can go sit down with the owner, secure the location, then get the machine, right? You got to sign that contract or that agreement, then you get the machine, right? We don't like saying like the contract word, right, in the space, right? Because when people don't like to be sold, right? So when I tell you sign this contract, it feels a lot more intense than an agreement.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
Something we both agree
right.
on.
An agreement. Oh, I could do an agreement. A contract?
yeah.
I don't know about a contract. You know what I mean? So yeah. So but that being said, forgot where I was even going with that. But the mentorship thing. So that being said, like there's things like that you know, like I could have used a mentor to not go and get these machines, right? So I can stay with a better cash flow, right? So I'm hurting my cash flow while I'm getting these machines while I don't have no contract, right? And I have no agreement for them, but I'm getting them anyway. So I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, oh, these are deals. I can't pass this up. I got 3 ATMs for $1,500, right? Or just about that. And I could bring one ATM home. I still have yet to ever put my hands like on the insides of an ATM. I did a lot of research, right? But I get it home, you know, I'm messing with it. I got to replace the pin pad. The pin pad's $170, right? I bet. There goes another $170. Now I find out I got to replace the pin pad on all 3 of them, right? Because when the machine sits for too long, the pin pad itself is encrypted. So the battery has its own little battery in the pin pad. So if you have the machine unplugged from the wall for too long, eventually the pin pad dies. And then when the pin pad dies, it loses its data. Once it loses its data, it's no good. You can't use it. So you have to go get that fixed, right?
All these little tricks.
These little things I didn't know,
yeah.
right? These little things I don't know. So that's stuff like that now that mistake right there.
You're not making it yet.
Right? Yeah. I'm not making it again, right? I'm not gonna go pick up a machine and I'm gonna make sure I don't see that error code before I pick up the machine, right? Now I know that. But before the mentor, I had no idea. So because I didn't have a mentor, which most time you can find a mentor for free, right? Because I didn't have a mentor, now I'm spending about $500-$600 extra in repairs versus just knowing. Had I knew that about the machines, I could have been like, listen, bro, I gotta replace this, so let's come down a little bit on that price, right? And I could have worked fixing the machines in that price.
Correct.
Right? But I didn't know that. Right. I brought the machines home and then found out.
Yep.
After, you know what I mean? After I done mess with them and play with them, right? So there's stuff like that. I feel like anything you do, if you're not, you got to be humble enough to seek a mentor.
Yeah.
You got to seek mentorship no matter what you're doing, no matter how much you think you know. Got to seek mentorship. And then, I mean, at some point you become someone's mentor too, right? But before all that, like, mentorship will save you money, save you headaches, save you time. So yeah, I mean, gotta seek mentorship.
That's dope. So yeah, tell the people how can they get in contact with you. Let the people know how to reach out to you if they need your services, or let's say they even have questions themselves and they want to get into the business. You know.
Word. So I. 2 things, you know, if you own a business or you know somebody that owns a business that may need an ATM in their store, you can visit my website is ddvendingsolutionsllc.com, or you can email me at ddvendingsolutions.llc@gmail. I currently don't have a social platform for the vending stuff, but if you want to find me on Instagram, Y3 Podcast.
Y3
podcast, yeah.
Like Y3 space or just one word?
Just one word, Y3 Podcast.
Okay.
On YouTube, I'm the Y3 Podcast. You can pretty much contact me anywhere on any of those platforms. Visit my website. Our office phone number is 617-417-4777. So you want to hit me there, whatever it may be. Any questions you have, you know a business owner that may need a machine, or you work in an office that has no vending machine and they might need one, you know what I mean? So whatever the case may be, got any questions, you want to do this too, let me know. Like, I'm all, you know, the more the better. I mean,
do you mind saying the office number one more time, please?
Office number is 617-417-4777.
4777.
Yeah, so 777 at the end. 417-4777.
Okay, 4777. You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
Yo, thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate it. It's definitely a good look, and definitely brought a lot of knowledge and a lot of stories that can help not only, that can help a lot of people. It's dope to see that you fail sometimes. It's a good thing to fail sometimes.
Right.
It's never really failure. It's just a way not to do it.
It's only failure if that's what stops you.
Correct.
You feel me?
And I think, if I'm correct, Thomas Edison, he created the light bulb. If I'm correct,
Thomas Edison, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a famous quote that said, he tried 1,000 times to make a light bulb, failed 999 times. And he was basically talking about him failing wasn't a real failure. He succeeded all 1,000 times.
Right.
He was just successful 999 times in how not to create a light bulb.
Right. It's all about perspective, bro.
Yeah,
it's all about perspective.
For real. So it's like, it's very eye-opening to see somebody who failed and who fell and who got back up and was brushed yourself off.
Yeah.
Keep going. Even inspiring to me because, I get when things don't go perfectly the first time, I get pissed off, I get tired of it, and I'm just gone on to the next thing.
Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mind you, I was great at sports.
Yeah.
It's in the family, you know what I'm saying? So I hated losing. I hated, and that kind of mentality you can't have in business. You have to be like, this is a learning experience.
Right.
And that's something I'm learning myself, how to say this is a learning experience. So I appreciate that, man. And I'm sure the people who are watching, the people who will watch this, because it will be on YouTube as well, and it'll be on your page as well, I think it's a lot of people will take a lot from it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, word. Yeah. Definitely. But we're gonna come back in a year.
Yeah, we're gonna come back.
We're gonna talk about how things are going. This one is going up. So
yeah, for sure. So everybody, thank you, appreciate y'all wherever y'all at. Appreciate y'all for having it locked in on the Shot O'Clock show with DJ Prospect. Make sure each and every Tuesday you have it locked in, and the Thursdays we have the special interviews. All right.